First off, just wanted to introduce myself to the folks that don't know who I am. My name is Ray Giovanelli. I'm the principal at JV Washam Elementary School. And I just want to welcome all of the Washam family for coming out for this exciting event. This is really something that we've had in the works for actually a year, maybe a little bit longer than that Mr. Washam and I began talking about it. And I told him that slow and steady, I guess, wins out, because it has taken a long time to get to this point. But hopefully it'll be worth it in the long run. And there's a lot of people that have been really tied into this process. Our reading committee has played a big role. Ms. Lori Chuka has played a big role in helping get this going. And our Board of Education has actually played a big role, as they're the one that kind of gave it the stamp of approval. Before we can go anywhere down this road to name a part of our school building, they have to get final approval. So they also felt this was a very worthwhile cause. Most of us knew who Violet Washam was, and she was a very special person and somebody that meant a lot to me in the short period of time that I got to know her. And I could tell that she had a pure, good heart. And it was something that when I was trying to think of one more way to thank the family for what we're sitting in right now, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to try to tie in Violet to the legacy of this school. So hopefully this will be something that will last. It'll obviously last far longer than but as long as this school stands, I want you to all know that you're welcome in this school, in this library, anytime you choose, because it'll be a part of your legacy as well, and it's something to be very, very proud of. I don't typically speak off of a piece of paper, but there are a few things that I need to mention to thank some folks. There's a lot of different people, like I said, that were involved in this, and they donated food and different things, so I do want to thank them. The Fresh Market was a part of some of our refreshments, Lowe's, Chick-fil-A. We've had some family contributions. The Bossy family helped participate in this. I already mentioned Ms. Chuka, who really played a huge role in kind of taking the vision with the reading committee and making it actually happen in an extremely short period of time. So thank you to all those groups for participating in that. We have two different things that we are going to have that will be here to show for Violet. First off, hopefully you've seen this since you've come in. They came in on Monday, and we will now call this room the Violet Washam Learning and Media Center. But we also have a plaque that's going to be displayed outside when folks come into our building, and I'm going to read that to everyone. It says, the Violet Washam Learning and Media Center, the JV Washam Elementary School PTO, in collaboration with Principal Ray Giovanelli, the JV Washam staff, and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education, are honored to name our school media center after Miss Violet Washam. Miss Washam was a beautiful example of community support, volunteerism, and a genuine beacon of caring and compassion. Ms. Washam not only provided direct monetary support to those in need, she also coordinated many other organizations and individuals to aid the Cornelius community. Mrs. Washam was always welcome sign at the school, and she consistently made herself available when a volunteer was needed. Mrs. Washam would provide a tangible, warm feeling just by her presence, and everyone would know she genuinely cared. Mrs. Washam provided these characteristics at all times without any desire for publicity or thanks. And I think that was one of the neatest things. John is the same way. They like to be involved, but they don't want their names out there, and I respect that a great deal. Mrs. Washam loved her community, and we are privileged to continue to honor the Washam family and Mrs. Washam by naming our library the Violet Washam Learning and Media Center. May the love of reading continue for years to come. And we dedicate this today on February 20th, 2013. So congratulations, John. I do know two of the family members want to come up and speak briefly. Once they are done speaking, please feel free to stay and enjoy refreshments. Linger around as long as you would like. But John wants to say a few words in Violet's behalf, and also her nephew, Mr. Black, wants to say a few words as well. So, Mr. Washam, the floor is yours. You're welcome, sir.
First of all, I'd like to introduce my immediate family. On the left, little white-headed lady over here. My sister, Avon Goodson. My sister-in-law, Peggy. in Mervyn. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law, this is Violet's sister, Don and Jackie Stewart, and I got one more. Another little white-headed lady. I refer to her as my older sister, Jackie Burris. I got another one there. Only little white-headed lady is kind of hard. This is Brenda Rose, my youngest sister. Glad to have her. First of all, I'd like to say most of you already know that the good work that goes on here at J.B. Washam Elementary every day honors the whole Washam family. I'd like to, this time, I'd like to thank Mr. Gavinelli for his work into this, the PTO board of 2012 and 2013, Laura, she was in contact with me. I'd like to thank her very much. She represented the PTO and the CMS Board of Education, the Library Teachers Committee. I want to thank each and every one of you for what you did to make this a reality. Violet and I both love reading and want the students at J.B. Washam to learn as much as they possibly can while they're here. Violet's most subject in school was math, so she wants you to count all the books in the New Learning Center. Set a good goal to read them all. I found this little book called Violet. I'd like to donate it to the library. I don't have anything on purple today, but this little book talks about Violet's purple. So I'd like to donate that to the Learning Center. Thank all of you, for all the students, staff, and guests for attending this special occasion to honor my wife, Violet. Thank you so much. And this time, I'll turn it over to Steve Black. He would like to make a few comments.
Hi, JV staff. Hi. When I speak, usually I make you come up here. Why are you sitting back there? Our Washam family is not that large. And those of you who know me know I normally don't have a note in front of me. But since I have a couple of dates to remember, I thought I would just have this as a safety net. First of all, Violet Elizabeth Jones Washam was more than a cousin-in-law to me. She was a friend. And even though I'm trying to take my role as your literary partner out of this for a second, this is why we're here. We're dedicating a media center with her name up there, and how proudly she would behold that. And whenever she heard that a Scholastic Book Fair was around the corner, she would call me and ask what was needed here. And in her silent, quiet, dignified, behind-the-scenes manner, she would help with that book fair, even if it meant she wasn't physically on campus. The name Violet is of Latin origin. The meaning of violet is the color violet, the color purple, or a solid colored flower. It's generally used as a girl's name. It consists of 6 letters and 3 syllables, and it ranks 101, get this, I couldn't believe it, out of the top 100,000 most popular United States girls' names. And it's made a comeback. Colors are oftentimes associated with personalities, whether you want to believe it or not, think frivolously of it or not, laugh about it, dismiss it. I still wanted to know what personality characteristics stood for violet/purple. This is uncanny. As a personality, color, violet or purple, denotes a generous giver, asking for little in return, except friendship. The color violet means you are sensitive, yet supportive, compassionate and understanding. You think of others before you ever give a moment's thought to yourself. You are the person, and this one really hit me between the shoulder blades, you are the person others come to for help. Violet Washam. Being needed motivates you. Violet Washam. Your feelings run deep. You have a quiet dignity about you. You are creative, and you like to be individual in every single facet of your life, from the clothes you put on your back, that's Violet, to your personal taste in decorating your home. But as the color personality, purple or violet, denotes, your deepest need is to help others in need. Jane Taylor was an English poet and novelist born in 1783 in a tiny village in England. And when she was 23 years old in 1806, she wrote the words to the ever-popular Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And now it's going around and around in your head, right? She was most noted for her children's nursery rhymes. So how fitting that we are in the Violet Washam Learning and Media Center talking about children's nursery rhymes. And in 1883, nearly 50 years after Jane Taylor's death, the following children's poem was published. The title, The Violet, by Jane Taylor. Down in a green and shady bed, a modest violet grew. Its stalk was bent, it hung its head, as if to hide from view. And yet it was a lovely flower, its color bright and fair. It might have graced a rosy bower instead of hiding there. Yet thus it was content to bloom, in modest tints arrayed, and there diffused a sweet perfume within the silent shade. Then let me go to the valley, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow in sweet humility. The Violet by Jane Taylor. Thank you.
I just want to thank everyone for coming again. It's a special day for the Washam family. I hope they take the time to enjoy it and embrace it. And we just thank you for coming out today and joining us as we celebrate with you. So thank you all so much for coming. And please don't leave right away. Thank you.